The Nintendo Indie World presentation was today, and I just got finished watching it with you guys live on stream. And this is like maybe a 7 out of 10 when we needed at least an 8, bro. In this video, I'm going to be going over my thoughts on the presentation, as well as going over the shadow drops, the demos, and what was missing, because there was quite a bit. Really quick, comment on this video to be entered into a $70 gift card giveaway. In the description, comment sheet with rules, regulations. Thank you so much. Bye. But the Indie World Showcase aired today, that being August 7th, being approximately 15 minutes long, and it showed off some indie games. Starting with Mina, from the creators of Shovel Knight. When I saw this, I was like, okay, this is actually such a great opening game, and they announce a demo too as well. And in the middle of this presentation, this final screen where they show off the release date and the demo, it was so quick. I honestly thought that the pacing for this presentation was going to be so fast. It goes on for like maybe 2 seconds. And I'm like, okay, we are in this. There is going to be a lot of announcements. It's going to be pretty fast paced. And I think the pacing of a direct is what makes or breaks it. And then we get like this introduction of Tyler and I forgot who else.
Welcome to Indie World. I'm Ariko.
Then we get Well Dweller, which is a Metroidvania style game. Honestly, really cool. I have no problems with it. It looks awesome. And again, this kind of leads into the idea like, oh, this direct's gonna be pretty fast paced. And then we get the first of many kind of like developer interviews, which I feel like didn't need to be here. Like, I don't know what the whole point of this was. Like, I get it. Okay, don't get me wrong. Like, I want to put a face to the game. But if your direct is already only 15 minutes long, you are eating so much time with these interviews, and there was multiple of these as well. For me, it threw off the pace of the presentation, but you know, I was like, it can recover. This game legitimately looks cool as well. It's kind of a pseudo horror RPG Stardew Valley-esque game. Looks really cool. Available 2026. Then we got Herdlings from the creators of Firewatch, another interesting game that I thought was a Switch 2 exclusive, but apparently runs on the Switch 1 as well. A very common thing you're going to see throughout the whole span of this game, or of this direct, is that there is no real release dates. Most of the games that they showed off are just available in 2026 or a sort of window in 2025. It is probably because the whole dev kit situation, and I have not done a video on, you know, what's going on with the dev kits. Apparently, you know, to stop leaks from being out, Nintendo didn't give a lot of companies dev kits. So it makes sense for a lot of like indie developers to not have a lot of games on the Switch 2. That's a whole nother topic. I think only one game out of this whole presentation was on the Switch 2. It's supposed to be a showcase for both of those. So I don't know. As we get further into this presentation, you're going to see a lot of games that would work super well on the Switch 2, especially with mouse functionality. But unfortunately, you know, that wasn't the case because for whatever situation, maybe the dev kit's included. The next game that they showed off in this presentation is This Seat Taken? And I remember seeing this back in another direct, and I love the art style. I love the whole puzzle mechanic. This game looks fun, and with the mouse functionality that they have on there, this game looks perfect for the Switch 2. This game got shadow dropped today, and I don't believe there was like any sort of release date beforehand, but it got shadow dropped on multiple platforms on, you know, the PC and the Switch. And this game looks amazing. It looks so fun. It looks so charming, and it got shadow dropped, but only for the Nintendo Switch, which is so disappointing, because the mouse mode would go so hard for this game. And I was hoping that, you know, we'd see more functionality for mouse mode in the third-party showcases, in the indie showcases. But right now, it doesn't seem like a lot of developers are utilizing that functionality. I'm hoping this gets like a Switch 2 patch, so it enables mouse mode. But it being a shadow drop, this is, I think, a really solid game to be a shadow drop. Is very charming. It could work for a lot of people. I wish for the game's success. I definitely will be picking it up on my PC. If this game had mouse mode functionality on the Switch 2, I'd probably pick it up on the Switch. But since it doesn't, it's probably going to be a PC pickup for me. What is interesting as well, we got a Switch 2 edition reveal, like an update for the Switch 2. A Little Kitty Big City. Bro, this, honestly, I've never heard of this game before. It's been out for a while and it's getting a bigger update. But this game looks awesome. It's literally stray but wholesome, and I think it looks great. It's not getting a Switch 2 oriented update, but it is getting a free update, of course, for I guess the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. So it's actually interesting that they have this break right here, because this is actually the dead middle of the presentation. I wonder if they purposely do that for people to, like, I don't know, check the time or something. But yeah, dead middle of the presentation. Shadow drop is this taken, and the demo for Mina were pretty good. So overall, first half of the indie world, I was still in high spirits, but like the third-party Nintendo Direct, I think the second half of it kind of fumbles just a little bit. But where it doesn't fumble is Landfall releasing content warning for the Switch 2. This is, I think, is this Switch 2 exclusive? A Switch 1 and the Switch 2, which is so cool because game chat would work perfect with this. I wonder if they're going to be able to, like, maybe do proximity chat with game. Imagine, hold on, game chat, your circle webcam on the player's face. I don't know. I think that'd be so cool. I think what's cooler is the idea of Landfall games coming to the Nintendo Switch. There's so many Landfall games that, you know, I do love and enjoy. Peak being one of them. I would love to see Peak come to the Switch. And, you know, both studios, what was it, Aggro Crab and Landfall. Yeah, I guess both now have games on the Switch. Another Crab's Treasure was made by Aggro Crab. I would love it if they ported Peak over to the Switch. As well as they had that one speedrunner style game. That would be amazing. Of course, they have their older titles, Rounds. So Landfall, really great party game, really great social game with functionality with the game chat would be great. Okay, after content warning, there isn't really any more exciting games, at least for me, and it doesn't sound like there's any bigger games that would be for like the general audience. We got Ball X Pit, very interesting concept, honestly, roguelike kind of I don't even say pinball, like, you know, like the normal like galaxy shooter style game. Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, this seems to be like a party game. Nothing had like impact on the second half of, you know, this presentation. Then we got some more developer interviews, and again, if they took, I think there was 3 in total, took them all and then dedicated them to like another game or something, I think that would have been time better spent. I understand what they were trying to do, but I just don't think it is needed for a 15-minute presentation. It sounds like they just did it to pad out the presentation. The last actual indie game showcase was Glacier, and I mean, it's cool. That's it. Then we got a sizzle reel showcasing a bunch of games. And I was honestly thinking that they're going to do a one more thing, that being a Balatro style update, or maybe even Witchbrook. Balatro less so, but Witchbrook, we already had official announcements of it coming to the Switch. And I mean, going onto Twitter, Witchbrook, there wasn't any official announcement, but they could have teased again that it's still slated for holiday of 2025 for the Switch 2 and other platforms. I think this game would sell massive amounts of money on the Switch. So it not being here, I'm not going to say it's not concerning, but it's weird because I think, again, like as I said in the beginning of this video, this was like maybe a 7, maybe even a 6 out of 10 presentation. And I'm less upset as I was with the partner showcase. But again, if they had like one more game, if they had Witchbrook or Balatro, I'm saying less of Balatro because Balatro is more of like a wish, if anything. But Witchbrook has been confirmed for the Switch 2. So it's just surprising not seeing it here. And like, I understand as well, like, you know, Nintendo can't make publishers show off their game, but why even do a presentation in the first? I don't know. It's weird. Let me talk about Balatro real quick, then we'll get into that. What's interesting, had an update legit the same minute the presentation started. Rusty's Retirement X Balatro crossover. This is mainly for Rusty's retirement, but you know, I did suspect that there was going to be an announcement sometime today from, you know, the Balatro team. There's still supposed to be an update sometime this year, so we'll see about that. I think for me, what's most shocking is just Witchbrook still not being there. And I'm gonna stop talking about it. But again, like, it just shows, like, why have this presentation if some of the stuff you've already announced isn't going to be there, if that makes sense. That might be the wrong way of thinking, but that's how I felt with the third-party showcase as well. And someone in my chat said they're probably saving Witchbrook for the General Direct, which it makes sense if you think about it. Like, General Direct gets more eyes, so why not show it in the General Direct? Same thing with Elden Ring Tarnished Edition and Duskbloods, technically third-party games. Both of those games, or not Duskbloods, but Elden Ring is showing up in Gamescom. So that's literally the end of this month. So why not show it on a direct that's focused on third parties? Just creating a bad narrative for these secondary style directs, because it just sounds like that only the big announcements are going to be in the general directs, which if that's what they want us to think, then okay. But it's going to get to a point where everyone isn't going to want to watch these anymore, because we just know, like, oh, they're going to save everything for the general direct. I was kind of hoping they'd do something similar to Cadence of Hyrule, lended their IP to an indie developer. Cadence of Hyrule, if you guys didn't know, was made by the Crypt of the Necrodancer team, where they used the Zelda IP under close supervision from Nintendo. That made a Zelda rhythm game, which was a super fun game. And yeah, I was hoping we'd get something similar, but again, I was keeping my expectations fairly low, and I still was a little disappointed. I'm hoping that this General Direct is crazy, but then again, it's like, after these last two presentations, it's getting me worried for one, but also hyped for the presentations as well, the General Direct. Because apparently that's coming out sometime in the near future, according to Switchforce, which got, you know, the announcement of the Indie World Correct. It's interesting, and it's honestly not sad, but I'm worried. What's going on with Nintendo? We got no announcements. We're getting cool games, but also, like, what's going on with your marketing? It's a little odd. We just better hope the General Direct blows our socks off. I am assuming that's what they're trying to do. Have great indie announcements, have great third-party announcements, have great first-party announcements, all in one direct, to have the one and only 10 out of 10 Nintendo Direct. And technically that would be the first Nintendo Direct of the Switch 2's life, so we would have to see. I don't know. I'll have more videos out about it later, but I think yeah, there was just some games missing. My two favorite announcements was, of course, Landfall games coming to Switch, of course, with content warning, as well as Is This Seat Taken, even though it wasn't on the Switch 2, because the mouse controls would be so cool. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What was your favorite part of the presentation? Was it good? Was it bad? Anyways, I'm Crafty Type 1, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Thank you so much, Jesus and Evan, for being channel members. You guys are the best.